Bam! Okay, guys, so let's talk about the top 5 ways to drop weight. So this is a bit clickbaity because I don't like to talk about weight loss. I like to talk about people trying to get healthy because to drop body fat, you must be healthy. So let's talk about these top things. So number one, you have to get your macros on point fleet correct. A lot of you guys have your fat too low, and then you guys are eating a lot of animal fats. You're eating a lot of coconut oil and MCT oil, thinking, I'm adapting. No, because you need things like omega 3s. You need things like the right ratios between mono, saturates, and poly, which plants don't have, plus the conversion of EPA and DHA, plus the fat soluble vitamins. These are all freaking tools to help fix cells, to balance the body in homeostatic balance. So stop trying to keto adapt on one avocado a day and a couple tablespoons of coconut oil. Your macros must be on point. The dietary fat that you eat gets converted into ketones first. Your body must learn how to create the right enzymes to break down the fat. So the first thing is get your macros on point correct. 80% is 80, 15, 10. I say 200 grams of fat, but it's really in ranges because really 80% is going to be 260 grams of fat. But in my first year of keto, I ate almost 400 grams of fat. So macros, get your macros on point correct. Eat cruciferous vegetables. Don't digress onto squash and white onions and all these things that can, and pureed tomatoes that can spike blood glucose, and dark chocolate and all this kind of stuff. Keep your macros at cruciferous fatty meats and the right, mostly animal fats. You want to have more about, I'd really like people to eat 70% animal fat, 30% plant fat. Okay, number 2, sleep. The body's going to make the most ketones in the first half of sleep because the first half of sleep is when you make the ketones, right? When you want to access the body fat, because the daytime it's the dietary fat, the nighttime it's the body fat. So you want to get your ass to bed between 9 and 10, and you really want to be sleeping between the hours of 9 and 12 because that's when you want to hit your first REM cycle. Because the deeper you go into sleep, the more the body begins to repair. It goes into hibernation mode. So a lot of you guys think that you are sleeping because you're asleep, but you're not in deep sleep. How you know that? Count your dreams. Because to get to deep sleep, you have to dream to get to REM state. So sleep. Circadian rhythms, the third one. Knowing when to get up and eat and break the fast, because unfortunately most of you have adrenal issues. So you can't rely on intermittent fasting because your adrenals are primed and conditioned to cough out adrenaline and then cortisol. And I've done a million videos on this, and I might do another one on the intermittent fasting lie. You're parroting what you hear. So my ass is almost 50, and as you guys can see through all the videos throughout the years, I become younger and more fit from not fasting. Plus, there's the electrolyte balance, which is a huge problem. No one talks about it. Steve Finney talks about it. You lose your electrolytes. For 1 gram of carbohydrate, your body holds on to 2.8 and up to 4 grams of water. That's the weight on the scale that you're losing, people. So when you fast, you're losing a lot of electrolytes, and keto people already are low on electrolytes. All right, number 4, I think it is. You got to learn how to exercise, people. So if we got macros covered, the timing, circadian rhythm, sleep, now exercise is important because people are like, when can I drop my fats? You don't ever really skip like the traditional thoughts of intermittent fasting. You drop your amount of fat, not exponentially, but you drop your amount of fat to a range where you're still producing ketones, your glucose doesn't get wonky, and you don't need as many dietary ketones because your body knows how to access body fat ketones. But to do that, you have to exercise. Because exercising helps to develop GLUT4 receptors, which pop out of the muscle and help to get rid of glucose, which is blocking your keto adaptation. So another thing that you guys need to do is become insulin sensitive. So all those steps help you become insulin sensitive. It's getting your butt to bed in those hours. beautiful golden hours between 9 and 12 with the circadian cycle. Your meal timing must also follow a circadian cycle. Also, getting your macros on point, fully correct, with enough animal fat, with the right ratios of poly, mono, and saturates in animal fat. Of course, the EPA and DHA and the omega-3s and the fat-soluble vitamins, these things are important, not only the amount of macros, but the type of macros with the cruciferous vegetables. You know, a lot of you guys don't know what you're really eating, and you need to know where it's coming from. So it starts with things like macros and timing, but then it has to do with stress. You have to de-stress. That's probably 6 by 6 or 7 now, but stress is the most important thing, because if you can't get your stress down, you're constantly in adrenal mode, which means that you're cranking out the cortisol, which is spiking your blood sugar and blocking your keto adaptation and keeping you insulin resistant. You can't lose weight if your insulin is high. And how's your insulin high? Because your glucose is high. Go test it. Go get a dual glucometer. Stop fucking around with these stupid urine strips that mean nothing. They can only tell if you're quasi in ketosis or not. But if they're turning purple, you're losing ketones. We want them in the cells, people, not on a urine strip that we pee on. Right, if you want to learn more how to drop weight, but actually obtain optimal health, because you do things like rotate your food, you stay away from coffee, any type of stimulants, that if you've got adrenal issues, you journal. I mean, there's a million ways to lose weight, but the main things are circadian, sleep, your macros, the timing of your macros, the type of macros, getting your stress down, and getting the GLUT4 receptors from working out, time under tension, slow it down, no cardio. If you want to learn more, you can go to stephanieperson.com. As you guys know, I'm writing the Ultimate Keto book, and I'm talking about these subjects. I'm not just talking about some refeeding and carb cycling and all this crap that is a bunch of BS and lies. Let's get to the point. Let's chop down the science. Let's figure out what's going on in your gut and figure out why your poop is floating, right? And where your pee is bubbly. Let's talk about this stuff and why you crash. That's how we figure out how to get into ketosis. StephaniePerson.com. You guys know that I also have a keto course page. That's also through my site. And if you just want to learn more, you can watch more videos on this channel, or go to Stephanie the Business Person, or Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagrammy, and I'm out because I got more videos to do. Peace.